We should be good. Welcome to another stream. It's good to be back. Give you guys a little bit of time to turn up. And hello. Yeah, good to be here once again. I was going to learn some guitar before the stream, but I couldn't play Freebird. I don't actually know how to play Freebird. Never learnt it. Can't say I'm a fan of the Eagles at all. I don't really like them. But there you go. Yeah, it's good to be here for another K-pop stream. Thank you very much for turning up. As usual, I will get started with stream questions. And I was going to teach myself Yuna's When the Wind Blows for this stream. I haven't really worked it out. I think it's K-Pod or something like that. I'll try and get that one for you by next week, because I think that's a good song. Anyway, let's go on with the stream stuff. I'm going to start with stream questions. So if you dropped a stream question, I hope you're tuning in early so you can get the answer, because if not, tough shit. Hi. This is my house. This is where I live. Behind me is just CDs and books and DVDs and things like that. And I've got a crap load of guitars over in the corner, and yeah, this is not my studio, that's at work. But there is a bit of studio equipment here, a little bit. Yeah, bandages are off already. If you want to see the eyelid scar, there it is. And yeah, it went from there to about there, but I'm alright. So I'll get to that post a bit later. Let's do stream questions first. What have we got? Is this why you're always hating on Christians in your blogs? And a link. That's true. Quran's not much better, by the way. That's got like flying unicorns and shit. Yes. I wish people would actually just say what they want to ask me instead of using a link to do it. You don't need to do the link. It's like when people are on Facebook and they post an image with what they want to say instead of just saying what they want to say. It's just if you've got a thought, just say it. Anyway, why is it always women who want to take away job opportunities for other women? What is this? It's from news.com.au, so nude cleaner. That's not nude. That's a bit better. That's more like it. Well, why not? Oh, fuck off video. I think it's good, if you make money doing it and you want to do it, that's fine. As long as people, that's what they want to do, then, That's fine. If I could clean someone's house in the nude for 104k, I'd probably do it too. But I don't think anyone would pay that amount of money for my body in lingerie. Maybe someone would. But yeah, good money if you can get it. Is this the logic needed to get out of the bad thought? Once again, why link? Why not just tell me what you think? The sentence "Don't objectify women" has women as the object of the sentence. That's funny. If the genders had been reversed, do you think we would have gotten a similar result? Hang on, that's an old one. I've done that one. That's the string questions. That's it. Yeah, Guha's boyfriend didn't have very much. Did he? So, obviously my latest post, which is, where are we? This thing here. It's a whole warning graphic. I'm taking the piss out of Netizen Buzz here. And their picture here, graphic. You open up the picture, it's like, dude, it's not hurt that bad, really. I didn't see the photos where the IV stand. I don't know where they are. I looked for them because I was gonna try and get an IV and recreate them like I did with his other photo, but but yeah, obviously I think it was pretty funny because he's making a big deal out of it, and it doesn't hurt that bad. So I thought, well, just to highlight it, I thought I'd make a big deal of my injury, and so that photo there is a version of that's just me basically doing this. But yeah, I don't know where his IV drip is. I didn't see that. So yeah, I mean, it's true that neither of us were there, and none of us were there, but I mean, really, she's a lot more fucked up than he is, and he was probably doing some shit he shouldn't have been doing, and she probably, smacked him one with a claws, and as you would. So it sucks to be him, but it sucks to be her even more. Experience with I know plenty of people in my real life who are going through shit like that, and trust me, it's a dude. It's a dude who's fucking doing what he shouldn't be doing, and he just got served. So yeah, NB's fucking dodgy bitch. I don't know if she even runs her own site anymore. No one's really heard from her in years. She never does editorials anymore. The site did originally have some minor good points in that occasionally she'd drop an editorial, and often they were reasonably insightful, but she doesn't even do that anymore. Now it's just constant gossip and bullshit. And just crap. It's a stupid site, really. So yeah, she can get fucked. Yeah, well, who knows? Some people do continually get into that abuser pattern with different people. It does happen. But people can't help who they're attracted to either, so it's tough. How do I say Chuseok? Chuseok, is that how you pronounce it? Tell me if I'm doing that right. But yeah, I don't even read up on that shit. I don't even know what it is really. I know that it's some cultural thing, and Koreans get dressed up in hanbok, but it's about all I know about it. All I know about it really is that every 6 months I get a whole new bunch of monthly index images. Because as readers will know, that if you go to the index, you've always got the Chuseok. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I always use Chuseok images for their handbook images for these index entries. And it's hard to find people for this, actually. Because, you know, I want to find them in the handbook and looking at the camera and doing the heart sign. And that's the combination that I look for. And I'm trying to get one with every idol, just because I can. But it's really, really difficult to find good new images of that I haven't already seen. So yeah, anyone wants to help me out with that, feel free. So anyway, yeah. So all the posts this week were just about Jaeger House domestic violence. I had that one. I had the popcorn one as well, because I thought it was funny that someone's image of popcorn could be interpreted as a comment. I mean, you know, maybe she was at the movies, you know, having popcorn. So I just did a bunch of popcorn posts here, and behind each one is a link to the popcorn in the news. So, like, if you click on this one, there's you know, and it's just all articles like that. Yeah, I wanted to do a nail art one, but I got a whole bunch of people to submit stuff, and I got a lot of entries, but I don't know, it just didn't work. I couldn't make it work. It's not sock. It will be suck. Chuseok. Oh, there's a link to the IV drip. Thanks for that. I'll just click on that. Alright, there we go. Yeah, really? Well, I guess they must have let him have it at the hospital. I mean, who knows? I'm sure they don't rent out their IV drips. Maybe it's legit, but still. He still got what he deserved. You know, beating up his woman. Don't have a lot of sympathy for the dude. Very flat accent. Yeah, I don't know. I just talk how I talk. Yeah, my accent's, it's Adelaide accent. It's slightly different. Yeah, I don't have that real "how you going, mate" sort of Australian accent. People in Adelaide have a slightly different, in my part they have a slightly different accent. I think it comes from that Adelaide, most of the, like Sydney was a prison colony, but Adelaide was actually a settler colony. So it's kind of got a little bit more of the English upper class thing going on in the accent, whereas West Coast Australia, no, East Coast Australia is a bit more bogan sounding. Which region in Australia has the strongest accent? Generally, I'd say the further north you go, the stronger the accents get. But it's a bit hard to generalise as well, because it's not like say like England or something like that, where you had communities that grew up for hundreds of years without very much travel happening, and they had time to develop very pronounced regional differences. In Australia, the regional differences are a lot less pronounced. So, like Alice Springs and Darwin are like 100 k's away from each other, but the accent isn't really any different. Yeah, Australia doesn't have that real, clear delineation of accents, and a lot of people can't really actually tell the different regions. A lot of Australians can't tell the different Australian and regional accents, so don't think about it that much. It's not really a big thing. So there you go. There are my posts. Let's talk about news. We'll go to our source for news. JYP's writing a book about being in a cult. That's pretty cool. Cards stopped their own concert because they're worried about their fans, which is great. I'll put a comment here. No one liked it yet. How nice of Card to stop playing music because they're concerned about their fans' health. They should do that more often. Carter got like one good song and a whole bunch of shitty songs that are just like less good versions of that song. So that's the latest on the DV incident, by the way. There's going to be some sort of settlement going on. Not much else happening. Asian Junkie has been snitched on to Ways Girls, this time with acknowledgement from the boss. So here's Asian Junkie taking credit for Ways Girls, which is a fanfiction that I wrote. So yeah, for some reason he's obsessed with Ways Girls. Don't even know why. Really. But yeah, I wrote that fucking thing, so he should pay me. But just don't send way over. I like my life. Don't want to wake up with a horse's head in my bed and shit like that. But I think I should write this. I think I should write K-pop plagiarism Fun Times episode 9 Asian Junkie about this. I think that would be good. That would amuse me anyway. I think it's what the fans want. Is for me to give Asian Junkie even more shit than I already give him. At least he's writing about Luna. For no apparent reason. I need some more dumb shit about Netizen Buzz covering the Kara case. And yeah, look, honestly, Asian Junkie's right on the money with this article, so read that if you're interested. Because it's a really good example of just how incredibly dumb all the people over at Netizen Buzz are when they comment on stuff and they just don't, well, not all of them. I mean, some of them get it, but a lot of them don't. There's a lot of morons over there. Yeah, there you go. So that's all that's happening in the news. I don't have much else to say. But we can find those supposed Nazi readers who were banned from AJ. I don't know. I think you're supposed to be one of them. So I heard. I'm not sure, but yeah, I don't know. No one's. I did do some survey results. I'm actually drafting the survey results post at the moment, and I think maybe about 10% of you said you were white supremacists, but you were probably just trolling. But yeah, no one's really come out with the full Nazi stuff yet, so that's kind of good, I guess. Don't really want to become the home of white supremacy in K-pop, but really, are there any white supremacists in K-pop at all? I mean, if you're listening to Korean pop music and you're a white dude, you're pretty much I mean, you're pretty much admitting white inferiority right there, aren't you? Or whatever. I don't think all the white supremacists are sort of sitting around in the clubhouse, in the KKK clubhouse or whatever, you know, listening to, watching Asians make K-pop. Wouldn't they be interested in their nice white music or something? So I think this whole white supremacist in K-pop, I mean, you're automatically not a white supremacist just because you're following it. It's EXP edition. Even they're mixed race. They wouldn't turn their nose up at them too. It's just the way people argue on the internet. If you don't believe in all these different categories of permissible thought, you're a white supremacist. It's just like I think there's more of a sliding scale there. You know what I mean? I think the white supremacists are actually a extremely small minority of white people, and then and just because you might be concerned about things like you might be a little bit right wing or whatever, just because you might be anti-immigration or something like that doesn't necessarily mean you're a white supremacist, or just because you're, I don't know, don't like Muslims or something. It's a slightly different thing. So I'm not condoning those things either, but there are degrees, and the real sort of Hitler saluting dudes are sort of way off on the fringe, and there's really not that many of them. One thing that I really know from being here in the punk scene here in where I live, this town had a reputation for a while sort of having a lot of white supremacists and stuff, but really 50 dudes who had protests at Charlottesville last year. Like if you count all the actual active white supremacists in my city, it's like it'd be less than 50, easily less than 50. And sometimes their numbers seem a bit bigger because sometimes people who, like, we have this whole Reclaim Australia thing, which is like the sort of the wacky sort of anti-immigration stuff, and that attracts those people, but it also attracts other people who are sort of less extreme as well. But the real hardcore neo-Nazi people are actually really rare. There's very few of them. In where I live, in the biggest cities in Australia, there's very few of them. Melbourne has probably got 50 at the most. It's just not that big a thing. People make it out to be much bigger thing than it is. And in Adelaide, the media has actually been quite smart. They've actually kind of caught on to the fact that it's not that big, and they've actually stopped covering it to a large extent, because they know it just feeds into it. Just like Westboro Baptist Church, right? There's only about 20 of those people. Yeah. Do I still have Easter eggs in my blog posts? Yeah, I do. Sometimes you just got to search for them. Melbourne is SJW. I don't know. I don't even know what you mean by SJW, because that seems to have a phrase, certainly has a few different meanings depending on who's saying it and what they're referring to. I don't use it that much. I've probably been using it less and less and less. Sometimes I think it's justifiable, but I think it's one of those things that sort of just gets, just like Nazi, right? SJW is like the other side of the coin. It's one of those phrases that gets chucked on a whole lot of stuff that it doesn't really apply to. I disagree with that, it's SJW. I disagree with that, they must be Nazis. It's the same. It's the other side of the coin. And once again, people who are really, really extreme into that stuff, there's not that many of them. If you sit down and talk to people who are extremely liberal or whatever, most of them don't actually have those sort of real hardcore views. And a lot of it just seems like that because on the internet everything gets exaggerated, and you often got really young kids typing stuff as well. Or you get people who are trolling and just exaggerating for fun. So there's a lot less extremism on both sides that the internet makes it out to be. But the reason why it gets pumped up all the time on the internet is because it generates clicks. If you have something that pisses people off, that's a real people can't resist clicking on it and having a look, and that sort of engagement generates traffic and generates revenue and generates dollars. And that's why we have the situation where we seem to have these two very polarized sides fighting, but actually we don't. To a large degree, we actually don't. And I have actually written about that. That's what Art of Thoughts is all about. If you want to read a fan fiction about that, you can read The Art of Thoughts, which discusses all of that stuff. And yeah, so hopefully that makes sense. Anyway, feel free to keep talking about stuff. I don't have much more K-pop stuff to talk about. Someone who asked if I was going to do a roundup stream. Yeah, I might do another one at some point. I've actually already written the roundup for this week. But I'm going to probably add to it if more songs come out between now and tomorrow. I don't mind if you guys ask me about it, all the songs or whatever, because you're special, because you're the stream followers. So stream followers get to find out what I think before everyone else. That's fine. Because the streams aren't really that popular, so it's a very small portion of my reader base. The average K-pop Lyrics reader reads my posts, checks into my blog maybe 2 or 3 times a week, doesn't watch the streams, and doesn't comment, except in the surveys, which is one of the reasons why I do the surveys, because it gets all those people who wouldn't normally leave a comment or whatever, and they'll start talking to me. Is there a 1080 fertilizer debate? I don't know what that means. Roll the dice and eat some strawberries. Yeah, okay. Wait here. I'll be back in 1 minute. Here we go, folks. My girlfriend said you guys are odd. Your readers are odd. The great thing about strawberries at the moment is, because of all this bullshit with the strawberries and the needles, which seems to have gone international, they're really, really cheap right now. It's like $2 for a punnet of strawberries. So that's great. And it's good because we really like strawberries, so it's It's good for us, but yeah, not so good for the strawberry farmers. But yeah, I'll be stocking up. All right. Sorry. So yeah, I know what the goes with the needles and the strawberries and what's. I hadn't even heard about it until like about 2 days ago. Everyone was talking about it. Because I don't really watch the news and stuff like that, so I'm really out of the loop with a lot of shit. But yeah, it's a thing. I don't know why. I don't think they've caught them yet. Although I think they've caught a few copycats. My girlfriend was talking about someone who got busted like today or something like that, putting needles in bananas or whatever. So it's really weird. Yeah, my cat sometimes does go down with the bottom of the chair, but yeah, not so much lately. She tends to come up here. If she just does come into the room, she'll come up to the table here. So, but yeah, there was no needle in that one. So, and yeah, they're cheap, so I'll be buying strawberries for a while. Be good. Anyway, that's all I've got to. Do I have to discipline my cat? No, you can't. You can't discipline your cat. That's not how cats work. Cats work on reward. You feed them. That's how they work. You train them like Diablo to open loot boxes, basically. Anyway, that's it for the K-pop stream. And I'm now going, call it Chuseok or whatever. I'm going to do what I promised to do, which is play PUBG with a Chuseok hat on. Not me, but my character, because I don't actually own a Chuseok hat. So I'm going to do that now. So anyway, but yeah, thanks everyone for watching. And yeah, if you want to keep talking, that's fine. And by the way, the games should load a lot better now because I've got a solid state drive now. I cloned my hard drive onto a solid state, and I've put the solid state in, so everything loads much faster. And I really should have done it before, but I guess before solid states were quite expensive. So now they're not. Mooncakes. I can't remember. I think I might have. I mean, the phrase mooncake is familiar to me, but but I can't remember what they actually are. All I can think of is that I've probably had some at some point. Oh shit, I forgot to put the hat on. I have to leave the match. Put the hat on. You saw someone else there with the hat. Okay, so customize. So this is a Chuseok jacket with the pattern on it, and that's a hat. There we go. So in this game, hey, how you going? I'm not going to wear any helmet. Okay, I'm just going to wear this hat all the way through. So regardless of the fact that that gives me a severe gameplay disadvantage, so I'm going to get headshotted really easily, but I don't care because it's Chuseok, so we'll wear the Chuseok hat instead. Which is here. Here's someone else with the Chuseok hat. Yeah, I use good. Oh, good. Hopefully your brain's recovered from my articles. But thanks for coming onto the stream. Alright, so we're playing, as usual, I'm playing just by myself against squads of 4. And we'll see how that goes. Which is definitely the most fun way to play this game. It allows for the highest amount of trolling. Which is, of course, the most important aspect of this game, is the trolling aspect. Now, this may not be a South Island circle, so I'm just looking for vehicles. Oh, there's a boat down there, that's good. Might have to piss off in the boat if the circle's bad. But yeah, it's good to have someone who's not a regular reader. My articles do get around a bit. Yeah, I bought Negligee Love Stories because it got banned in Australia, so I thought I have to buy it. So I bought it off Nutaku. And yeah, it's just a visual novel, which is really, I don't really like visual novels at all. I find them really boring, actually. But I thought, well, fuck the Australian government being a bunch of arseholes. So just deciding what I want. Not sure why it got banned when that sort of content, you know, there's a lot of other, I mean, I haven't played it all the way through yet, so I don't really know why it's been banned. But usually what bothers the Australian censors is they're usually right with sex and they're usually right with violence, but when both of them are combined, they get a bit upset about that for some reason. But I haven't really been far enough through Negligee Love Stories to know whether that's an issue or not. But what I can say is it is a fairly adult game, in the sense that, you know, it's not like 40 minutes of exposition and then you're into the adult content. It's pretty much adult content all the way through it. So I think the dev company released some statement saying, well, we're not going to censor it, because if we censor it, we'd have to censor about 90% of the game. And that's definitely true. So I guess if you like sort of erotic visual novels, it certainly meets required standards as far as all that goes. Yeah, drug use I don't like, because, you know, drugs are always an issue in Australia. Australia's got quite high drug use, and so drugs are the sort of favourite sort of whipping post of the government.